Hello, you bloody Anglophonians. Today we take another look at the little people, and the story for today is called The Escapees. There is an anniversary to celebrate in Eslapion. It has been 10 years since the people of Rajevol came into contact with a meteoroid that shrank them all. Since then, these little people have built a new city in the Rajevol cisterns. There are big celebrations and, as you can see here, an exhibition. The center of it all is, of course, the meteoroid in question. But there are also memorabilia on display. Two pictures that you can see here at the bottom are particularly interesting. These two pictures show the only people locked up in prison. What's interesting about that? The gentleman here on the right is imprisoned for unknown reason. The gentleman on the left because he tried to free the other from prison. Yes, actually, the comic artist Seron always portrays his society of little people a bit as a utopia. But here he is entering grey territory. The caption on the picture of the man on the right, his name is Bert, reads as follows. Was in prison when he was still big. He is still being held in prison because he cannot give a sufficient reason for his release. In other words, he's just being held captive because that's the way it is. For how long is therefore not specified. No wonder he wants to break out, which he does together with his cellmate. The two trick the guard by painting a picture of their cell that they hang in front of the surveillance camera. Unseen, they break open the bars on the window of their cell and escape. Of course, the alarm is sounded, but the flight squadrons have to wait until the day. But then the search begins. In fact, the traces of the fugitives are quickly found and a wild chase begins. The two of them manage to escape again and again, eventually even succeeding in overpowering the crews of a few gliders and taking their aircrafts. This means they are now on the move even faster. Their goal is the next city of the big ones, which the other little people, led by the hero of the series Renault, must absolutely prevent. Finally, there's a big showdown between Renault's team and the fugitives in a large department store. As I said, the story is entering grey territory. It gives the impression that the background to why Bird is in prison is meant to be more humorous than serious. He's always been in prison, he is staying there, that's it. In this respect, especially at the end of the story, it is not entirely clear what it was actually about. The fugitives want to go to the big ones, which would have meant a catastrophe for the city of the little people. They had to keep them from doing that. But why back to jail? Even when Renault asks the mayor of Eslapion this question, the mayor has no real answer. And speaking of the mayor, in the exhibition from the beginning of the story, he's not called mayor, but boss. The sign next to his picture says, "Our leader gives us health and joie de vivre," joy of life. Since the comic series should mainly be aimed at children, I suspect that it was meant to be funny. But through the eyes of an adult, the utopian society of little people already gets cracks in this, which is just the second episode. In the first episode, we see the boss already in his position. How did he get there? Are there elections in Eslapion? And how is this society regulated at all? And if so, what law does Bird keep in prison? If they don't really know why he was in prison when he was big. Perhaps in this story, the writer just shows why he wrote these stories in the first place. The life of the little people is of course pure escapism, a small community that has separated from the rest of society. A simple life that is only possible when the number of people is limited and when everyone is in for the same goal. But in the next story, the little people will eventually face a situation in which they find that their community is quite small and that they sometimes need help from others. But we'll see that then. So there you have it, the ongoing story of the little people. But there's more to come. See you next time.